What's going on, everybody? I'm SureAce, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be ranking every single multiplayer Call of Duty experience from S tier, which is the best, to all the way down to I don't know, because there's some Call of Duties I just didn't play, alright? We're going to be going in order from the very first Call of Duty to the most recent Call of Duty as of doing this list. So this will be the in replace of the reacting video for today. With that being said, the reacting videos will be moving over to another channel, and you can check it out in the link down below. It'll be SureAce Reacts, okay? Now, with it starting, there is a few Call of Duties that I just did not play, and that's going to be like the first few Call of Duties here, Call of Duty 1 through 3, and even Call of Duty 4, the original one, I did not play. I played the remastered version, but I did not play the original version, and I played World at War. Basically, I did not own the game. I went back and played it though, and it was okay. I didn't really like a lot of the aspects of it, but I also don't want to just like rank the game since I've only played it 2 full matches. So I started in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. So Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, I'm actually going to rank A tier, which might be a surprise to a lot of people, since how I started playing Call of Duty at Modern Warfare 2. But the reason I put it in A tier instead of S tier is because the multiplayer experience was great. It was probably one of the best, arguably the best multiplayer experience that we've ever had in the Call of Duty community, and a lot of nostalgic Call of Duty fans wish we could go back there. And that game had just great kill streaks, great guns, great maps. But the problem was you got one-man army, you got noob tube, you had death streaks, and that's something that I think we overlook when the older fans like myself look back now and go, oh, the game was great, you know, we could get the nuke. They had great announcers, tactical nuke incoming, and we had the AC-130 and the loud screeches that it made and how intimidating it was. It had a great prestige system, and the game was great, but what we forget is the one-man army. We forget that people would sit at the back of the map and noob tube. We forgot that you could have a shotgun as your secondary that was like essentially carrying 2 primaries, and you could have the Model 1887s akimboed, and you could practically snipe with them. With the spas, you could jump up in the air, and right when you hit your peak, you could shoot and basically kill somebody halfway across high rise. It was just trash in that aspect. I mean, granted, everybody did it, but I think the difference between those abusive factors in Call of Duty then versus now is the players. So I do think the game is very, very great, and something that Call of Duty should strive to do better to try to get into that great factor again, right? To where everybody's happy with it. Of course, we don't want the big bugs and stuff like that to come back, but I do think that's something that Call of Duty in general, Activision, should always strive for greatness again, and that's one of the games they have to look up to. Coming from there, we play Black Ops. Black Ops is really, really hard for me to place, and the reason I say that is because, like, at one hand, I really want to put it in S tier. I loved Call of Duty Black Ops. The maps, I weren't really sold on the maps. Like, I had a lot of great maps, don't get me wrong, but like, you had Jungle was okay. I know a lot of people love Jungle. It was alright map. Nuketown obviously was good, but it wasn't. It was the best Nuketown version we've ever had. And for that time, it was great in that aspect, but I don't love it, right? I didn't love it, but it's definitely like a top 5 map of mine. So I guess I do love it, but I don't know. Like, in the whole scheme of I'm going to like a game just because of 1 or 2 maps is kind of hard for me to do. All the maps were good. I just didn't think like and a couple did stand out, like Nuketown and Firing Range. But at the end of the day, it was like, okay, you got those 2 maps and the rest are just kind of like, they're good, but you know, at that time, they were good, but they were mediocre for all the other kind of maps that we get, if that makes any sense, right? By today's standards, we look back at these maps and we go, they're great. But by those standards, they were just average maps. So for that time, right, it was a lot different. And so I'm gonna have to actually rank it above Modern Warfare 2, and I'm gonna put it A tier because the only thing that I did not like ultimately with Call of Duty Black Ops was the fact you could take lethals and you could take equipment, and part of the equipment was the all memed camera, which really wasn't that big of a deal, but the fact that you could take a claymore. And so you always had people running around with like grenades, and claymores were set all over the place, and it was just annoying. But other than that, love the guns. Like I said, the maps were actually good, but they were mediocre for that time period, but they were great compared to what we get now. It's kind of hard to understand, but I think I made my point. We get into my personal favorite Call of Duty all time, hands down, S tier, Modern Warfare 3. Dome, Seatown, Resistance, Arkaden. Oh my gosh, I just love this game. They had the 1v1, the 2v2, and 3v3s where it was like quick scoping wars and erosion and A ground. I called in Moab on every single map at least once. One of my favorite maps, Mission, right? And we had the ACR 6.8, we had the MP7, you have the Scar L, you have the MSR, the RSASS, and all the LMGs were pretty. You had the MP9 machine pistol that was essentially like a pocket MP7, even smaller. You had the FMG9's akimbo, which was just absurdly overpowered but super great. All right, we had the FAMAS. What was that one gun too? The FAD. The FAD, that's what I was thinking of, not the FAMAS. FAD was like one of those guns that it didn't hit hard, but if you knew how to use it, people knew you were great. 20 prestiges, absolutely awesome. I became a 20th prestige in 2 accounts, and on my 3rd account, I was a prestige 10. It was just completely just awesome. And the reason I love Modern Warfare 3 the most was because I felt that they did exactly what Modern Warfare 2 did. They copy-pasted it, but they took out the noob tubes. They fixed the bugs. I felt like Modern Warfare 3 was the almighty patch that was always talked about with Modern Warfare 2, but Modern Warfare 2 never got. So therefore, Modern Warfare 3 S tier, best Call of Duty ever made. Now, this is where I'm gonna have a lot of hate. I don't care, all right? This is just completely my opinion. The problem is I've always ranked Black Ops 2 in my head at E tier. Always a garbage Call of Duty game. But now, the only reason I'm ranking it higher is not because I like the game, but because we get so many trash Call of Duties now that it's better than what we've been getting. But at the end of the day, until we got bad Call of Duties, this was the worst Call of Duty ever made. I hated Black Ops 2 with a passion. Hated it. But because of the fact that we get trash Call of Duties now, it's better than the Call of Duties we're getting before. Oh my gosh, this was the worst Call of Duty, and I know people are gonna be on my ass about it, but I don't care. The game was garbage. You'll find a trend here too. You'll find a trend, and if you don't, I'll tell you at the end, all right? Okay, so be sure to stick around. Next up, we got Call of Duty Ghosts. Call of Duty Ghosts, I love the time to kill. I love a quicker time to kill. I know there's always been the argument, there's a skill gap involved if you have a higher time to kill, right? But I love the quicker time to kill because it's all about reaction time. It's about being able to turn, boom. And I like a quicker time to kill in the sense of like if it's just a touch little longer, it's not like a one-tap death, but it's just a little touch longer. You have to be really good, but you could still turn on them. But I don't like the fact that it's so high that you literally are like, you could turn on this person. You can literally like finish somebody, turn around and still kill a person. I don't like that aspect, but I do like it when it's just enough that it's like, man, as soon as you're getting shot, if you turn around fast enough, you hit all headshots or something, you can still get that kill. So that's why I don't necessarily like one tap, but I do love a quicker time to kill. But I do not like the way the community plays a quicker time to kill. They always feel entitled to camp. They always feel that they have to sit in a corner and they have to wait it out, and anybody that moves dies. And I don't like the way the community plays a quicker time to kill game, but I love the quicker time to kill. I wish that people would just realize that whether they have a higher time to kill or a quicker time to kill, it's all the same because it's all balanced. We all have that same health, right? But people don't think that way. People think, hey, I have a higher time to kill so I can run around. I have a lower time to kill, I have to camp. But a lower time to kill, if everybody was running around and stuff, I would love it. Kill streaks were awful. I did not like the grayness to the map. If anybody knows, the reason they did the grayness to the map is to kind of represent the ghost, which is kind of cool, I guess, but kind of stupid. And at the end of the day, though, Call of Duty Ghost had mediocre maps. I do say probably the worst maps we've had up until this point. There was some that stood out, like Warhawk, Octane. What was the one to Freight, however you want to say it. Another great map, right? And there was some decent guns like the Remington, had the Vepr. There was definitely decent guns involved as well. But what was that real? They had a good gun I loved, the Ripper. It was a DLC gun. I loved the Ripper, and then I got the 420 camo to go along with it because, you know, ow! But Call of Duty Ghost, at the end of the day, like I said, I honestly, if it wasn't for the community playing the way that the community played, I would definitely rank it higher. But because everybody felt entitled to camp because of the quicker time to kill, I have to rank it B tier. So it's kind of the community that ruined it for me, not necessarily the game, which is kind of where I'm at now with Call of Duty, but that's a later topic. Advanced Warfare. You know what really pisses me off about Advanced Warfare? I did play, I don't know why. Is the fact that it's the most mobility game we've had. Even though it's clunky, it was the most mobile game we've had, right? You could double jump, you could boost, and it was literally Mario with a gun. You're literally Super Mario with a gun. And it was just stupid to see somebody in the corner. It pissed me off so much. It's like, what? What? You're gonna sit in a corner on the most mobile game ever? Like, you gotta be kidding me, right? Like, this is a thing? But Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, it did not age well. It's really, really clunky, and I didn't think it was even good for the time. Like, it almost felt like clunky for the time period, which is just crazy. Came out in, what, 2014? And Advanced Warfare, though, I did have some good guns. I know a lot of people are going to hate me on me for this one, but like the Battle 27, I think, even though, yes, it was overpowered, it was still a good gun. Like, it was a usable gun to... It had clean iron sights. I think even if it would have had the nerf that it never got, I think people would still use it because it was just a good gun, right? Can't think of, there was another gun I really liked to use. The AS, it's not the AS Val, but it was like the ASM1 Speakeasy or something like that. That's another gun that should have probably been first. The shotguns were kind of underpowered except for like the Bullfrog. They had the TAC-9 if you were good with it. And then they did have a good sniper. It was the one-shot kill sniper. You had, like, every time you shot, you had to load it up. That was pretty cool. And then they had the shoulder mount sniper if you were really good. A lot of snipers like to use that just because it hit hard. It took a little bit more skill to use. Ultimately, though, like I say, I have to put it in C tier. I think the kill streaks were actually really good, but the duration of them were really short, kind of holding back how good and powerful they really were. So they definitely needed to buff just the duration of how long a kill streak can last. And the DNA bomb was, I think, a cool experience as well. Black Ops 3 was the best exo ability Call of Duties, but you could still go back and play it today, and it runs pretty fine. It's actually a pretty decent. Black Ops 3 did really well with the raw running and the way they did the exo abilities. You could take a perk if you wanted your exo ability to last like a little bit longer or recharge faster, which was a really cool idea and made you prioritize your perks a little bit better. The one downside that I do not like about Black Ops 3 is the specialist. I thought that added was just having another kill streak. It was like having a fourth kill streak and you got it regardless of how good or bad you were doing throughout that match, how aggressive you were. Of course, if you were more aggressive, you would get it more often. But at the end of the day, the fact that you could still get it while not even playing the game, I did not like that. I do not like specialists. I'm not a fan of them. I think if they're going to add them, just add them as a kill streak. That's just all there is to it. But ultimately, we do have to put it above Advanced Warfare. I actually had more fun at the current time period on Black Ops 3 than I did on both of Ghost and Black Ops 2. So I'm going to have to rank Black Ops 3 actually an A tier. I think they did a really good job, and I would love to have seen the game if they would have geared the maps just a little bit slightly lower and then not even have wall running and exo ability. And of course, like they did gear the maps really well to actually fit the play style. But I'm saying if they would have had like the same maps and then made it boots on the ground, I probably would have had even more fun. But ultimately, at the end of the day, that's kind of my only thing. The trip mines were really, really annoying. For whatever reason, people used the crap out of them. But ultimately, the great guns, pretty decent maps, very fast-paced. I enjoyed that very much. I thought the time to kill was a little bit higher than what I really wanted, but not super high either, so it was tolerable for me. After that, I actually I only played Infinite Warfare in a beta. I seen the trailer, and I'm looking at the game, I'm going, boo! Boo! And yeah, so then we got World War II. I got World War II for Christmas. I ended up playing a couple games. By the end of the week, I sold it. And then when they had their huge overall update 1 year later after the game came out, I actually repurchased it. I had a lot of fun on World War II. The only downside is I only had fun on World War II on Shipment 1944, the 24/7 playlist of it. I didn't really care for the maps. The guns were okay. I like World War II. I like reading about it. I love learning information about it. And it's cool to play it once in a video game, but after that, I love my modern day era. I don't mind going into the future. It's just the exo abilities I don't like. But I don't mind going into the future and seeing what cool stuff they do, like with the little E's and to reload the gun or whatever, right? Like it's cool, right? So it's not that bothers me. It's just the exo abilities. Black Ops 4, played it like a couple times, didn't like it. I didn't like it. I just can't say that it was horrible. Modern Warfare 2019, I thought this game was basically dog shit as well. I actually didn't purchase it for a long time. I only played Warzone, and I actually only bought it because everybody was like persuading me to buy it. I ended up buying it. The only maps that I played was like that 24/7 like ship to shoot or whatever it's called, or ship hoss. I don't know, whatever it is, whatever their 2 map rotation was. That's all I played. It was good in that regard, but again, the maps were crap. I was really let down by the kill streaks. The one good thing was the nuke being able to destroy the map and you would win the game and the game would end when you called it in. That, I think that's the way it should be, but not really sold. I've only played Cold War on the alpha, the beta, and then whenever it was like the free weekend, I played it then, and I never purchased the game. I have no intentions to purchase the game. It was like 50% off here like a week ago, and I still didn't even, I can't do it. It's just like, my friend loves it. He's like, you got to get it, you know, so we can play together, because we've been playing together Fortnite, but I can't do it. Like, it's just, I can't do it. Call of Duty Vanguard. Call of Duty Vanguard gets a lot of hate for various reasons. Completely understandable, all right? Completely understandable. I played Vanguard. I actually got it for the PS4, upgraded to a PC, bought it for the PC when it was on sale, and I put like 3 hard days on it and quit. And I haven't been back since. I literally have not been back on Vanguard since. I put like 3 hard days on it in the course of like maybe a month and quit. I haven't played it since. I found myself only liking to play like Ship Hoss, and which is like DOS House and Shipment. And I didn't like the rest of the maps. I don't mind some of the guns. I upgraded like all the SMGs to level 70. I think the gun grind is a little too extra. It's like they took away the prestige system for players that love the prestige system. We're like, here, we'll add more of a gun leveling experience, and whether you like it or not, and we'll just kind of upgrade that, and that will compensate for not having prestige. And it doesn't work for some people. Like, it just doesn't do the trick for me. I know it has so many bugs and glitches and problems. I completely understand that. I'm not going to even go down that road. I'm not going to go down the road of SBMM or disbanding lobbies, anything like that. But I'm just looking at it from like, I like some of the guns because I like, the problem is when I say I like those guns though, in the World War II guns, what I mean by that is I like the looks of the guns. I like the history of that gun, and I like to use the gun a little bit because it's like, oh cool, I get to use a gun that's a World War II gun, and I like World War II, but I don't actually like care to use that gun for video game purposes, right? And so ultimately at the end of the day, I think Vanguard did definitely better than Modern Warfare and Cold War. I think Modern Warfare just sold a lot of copies because of the Modern Warfare tag. Cold War sold good because it's a Treyarch game. And you know, everybody's like, oh, they sold so well, the blah 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 blah. But I think it's the name that sells them. I mean, Call of Duty just in general, the name sells. But I mean, their specific title, right? And I think those games are really hyped up, but they're not really necessarily great. Like I said, I did put 3 really hard days on Call of Duty Vanguard. And so that's more time than I've put in on basically every game except for, I actually did play Advanced Warfare a little bit, but I'm gonna have to put it in C tier because ultimately at the end of the day, like I said, I played like really hard for 1 month and was like, you know what, there's nothing here for me anymore. There's just not. So that is my complete Call of Duty tier list. Let me know your guys' opinion. This is completely my opinion, all right? All future reacting videos, SureAce Reacts, check it down in the description below. My voice is going. I need water.